For the past 5 years, Help Heal Humanity has successfully run an elementary school in Canaan, Haiti. Due to COVID-19, the political unrest, and the recent earthquakes, food is scarce. The students attending our program are coming to school starving, and therefore causing a disruption in their academic goals. We need your help, now more than ever, to provide these students with the nourishment they need to continue their education. Our goal is to raise $100,000 so we can feed 100 kids lunch daily and send them to school in the upcoming year. Thank you for your support.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
How are you, Queen?
I am good. How are you?
Good. It is what day is it? What night is it? What show is it? Serena, do you know?
It is the Healing Humanity podcast live Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, with the Queen, Barbara Beckley, and co-host Serena Bufalino.
Woohoo!
Ew!
In the house.
Whoa!
They should never put both of us in a show together. This is like,
yeah, you're
really
wild.
We're wild. I mean, hey, you live life, right? You live wild. You have to enjoy life.
I know. I was saying like I'm so tired, but then after this show, I'm so energized, and then I can't go to sleep.
I know. It's like, okay, now I gotta try to fall asleep or get myself back to where I was before. But it's like an adrenaline. It's like this adrenaline going every time we have our show. So we got a big show today. We have first, the first half, just to explain to everybody. We always have either volunteer, board member, whoever that's really grasped with the AHH community, and we kind of do interview. Well, I hate to say interview, just have a conversation with them. Let's just put it like that. Miss Foxy Mama. I'm loving her tagline. I see her name down there. I'm like, Foxy Mama. I said, this is gonna be interesting. I love this. And then we're gonna have Missy. Yeah, I know. Then we're gonna have another nonprofit that we're gonna spotlight from Miss Stacy Chapter, and she's gonna come on right after Foxy Mama comes on. So let's just start the show, and we're gonna get the intro going. Here we go, Serena. I lost Serena. Bring it down, Stacey. There's a little switch there. We'll see Stacey a little bit. We'll still see Stacey a little bit. I gotta blame on my producers.
All right. How do I get me on camera?
There you go.
But I can't see you.
You can't see us.
You can't see us.
No. Here now.
Yay!
Yay! Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello. My God, I was saying to somebody that I am going to be meeting a friend that I haven't seen in how long? 5 years or 4? 5 or 4, something like that, Serena.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's been probably 4 years since we've seen each other. And we connected immediately. So I don't know if that's my Wi-Fi. Is that hers?
It might be, yeah.
No, it was me. It was me because I'm moving around too much. Just a minute.
Yeah, no moving around, Foxy.
Well, I know. I just sat myself down. I wasn't quite, like, it's okay. I'm good now.
You thought I had energy? Foxy Mama she could reveal her age.
I've been hearing about Foxy Mama. I've been hearing. I want
she has energy, so much of it.
I need stuff to slow me down. But you know what? It's really wonderful because it's not, I think we all have it, some more than others, no question, but we all have it. It's the fears and the anger and the shit that stop our energy. And I've just let go of all of that.
And that's incredible. I know you've had a life journey, so I just want to give everybody in our audience a little bit of a background. I mean, obviously, Foxy Mama. So I mean, her real name is Susan. Let's say your real name is Susan.
Susan Fox, though.
Yes, Susan.
That's where we get the Foxy from. You know, like yeah.
And actually she's what I call my Belize mama. So I kind of have mamas all over the world. And for those of you who are listening and or don't know, Help Heal Humanity was in Belize for a year or so. And we were working towards building alternative school there. And I met Susan because Susan was flown down to Belize for the possibility of either her and I working together for the school, or Susan, you know, she had already been to Belize. She was already working on projects. So she kind of has her own charity. She does her own thing. She kind of flies by the seat of her pants, but she's always doing amazing things. So that's how we met, was in Belize, working on Help Heal Humanity, working on an alternative school. And I did. She became my Belize mama. And we've stayed in touch. And I mean, she's doing an incredible amount of things, fundraisers, awareness campaigns. So she had asked me to speak at one of her conferences, and then we said, let's get you on the show. So, I mean, you can give a little bit of background about the different works that you do or whatever you want to do before we get into it. So yeah, take it away.
All right. Thank you. You know, what I really love about connecting with you, reconnecting with you, but even initially, is the naturalness and the earthiness and the realness, because so many people do podcasts and are out there doing their good things, but somehow it doesn't feel quite as real. And you, my dear, well, I know because I saw you 24 hours a day for 2 weeks. We're real, and that puts a little different spin on it. Can you see? It's very dark in here, and I didn't realize that. Should I go to a brighter room, or is it fine if I'm in the dark?
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It'll be a little sort of mysterious. That's good. Okay. So speaking of mysterious, just a very brief career background. I moved to Toronto from Winnipeg when I was in my very early 20s, not knowing anybody, not knowing exactly. I was a teacher. I had a degree in psychology. I had a fashion background. I had done a little bit of many things, but not knowing what exactly I wanted to do. However, when I decided to finally get out of Winnipeg for the last time, I came to Toronto, I knew in my heart, or felt in my heart, that I wanted to be in personnel or public relations. So I did that actually for the next, got a job, you know, at the lower levels, and then I built up, and I ended up for the last 20 years of my business career, I owned my own executive recruiting firm working for all the top big companies in the city in 4 major areas: retail, Bay and Sears, for example, packaged goods like Kraft and Cadbury and beverages and Coca-Cola and all those. And then pharmaceuticals, well, let's not go there. They were half my client base, and I know a lot about pharmaceutical research. And unfortunately, COVID was not done well. And so I have a real problem with the COVID last 3 years. However, I have changed my whole perspective from a businesswoman after 30, 40 years, to my husband passed away, and I nursed him. We closed the business. He was ill. I nursed him to death. By 2005, he passed away. And I had not worked for 3 years. We had gone to Belize for a vacation shortly after we closed the business, and I fell in love. I fell in love with the energy of the land. And I came home, and this is relevant. It seems like I'm wandering, but it is very relevant to what we're doing. I came home to, having put an offer into a place after a month of staying there visiting. I fell in love with the climate, with the people, with the energy, with the ocean, with everything about it. And I didn't really understand it. I had a home here in a very, very high end area of the city of Toronto. And I sold it to buy a place in Belize. So I went to this psychic medium, and when I told him what I was doing, he said, "Well, Suze, for most people, it would be really unusual, but for you, it's not. Why? Because you were a Mayan healer in another lifetime, and you used to go from place to place, and people would open their arms and welcome you back. Hi, Sue, welcome back." And that's exactly what happened when I lived in Belize for 7 years. I had a place. And I'd come back every winter and people would welcome me, and it was just open arms and comfortable and home. And ever since, I had to sell it because I went through bankruptcy in 12 years ago, I guess, but 2010. And it was a tough time. I went through 12 years of hell, financially anyway. And it affected everything. Because when you have no freedom, financial freedom, it really limits your creativity. Because you go into fear. What am I going to do about eating tomorrow? And I went through it for 12 years after having been quite a comfortable, wealthy woman. And I went through it, I believe, because I needed to know and feel and be poor, so that I could understand the people and the actual heart feeling emotions that they went through when they had to beg. Because I did. And I had to steal a little bit, not a lot, but there were times. So I know firsthand now why or how people feel when they have to beg and borrow and steal.
Wow. Thank
Yeah.
you, Susan. I just want to say that is just amazing. I'm just
Yeah.
so glad you told that story because, like you said, sometimes in life things happen because you have that calling on you. You have a strong calling on you, and to deal with that and to come out and say, you know what, I understand. I'm here, and now our heart is even open even more than it was before.
Exactly. You got it. You hit the nail on the head, honey. And I really appreciate that you get it because it's been a hard road. It's been a harder road than I would have ever imagined because I grew up in a very middle class, comfortable family, Jewish family. And Jewish people are known to be intelligent, educated, successful. And I was. However, I rebelled. I didn't fit. I didn't fit the Jewish community. I didn't fit their values. I didn't fit. And I left. But it was a very, 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 very hard leaving because I was criticized. I was put down. I didn't fit the norm. I didn't fit in with any of my friends. And so I had to make it from scratch, and I did. But I did it in a community that was more like me, not one that was of my parents' making. That's hard to do. But I did it, and I'm still doing it, and I'm going to be 73 in July.
Right? The
Ooh, I gotta
energy.
put a heart up for that.
It is, and you know what? It's her spirit. She has that spirit. You know what I mean? Like you would never guess, and I didn't know that part about you, Susan. So thank you for sharing. That you fell and you did what you needed to do to survive, and then and like you still got back on your feet, and no matter how challenging, no matter what was coming your way, you learned to survive, and then you learned to thrive,
It
right?
actually shocked me that I was able, nobody knew, I shouldn't say nobody, but very few, only my very, very close knew that I was that poor. I was living on $18,000 to $20,000 a year, and most of it was covering expenses. I didn't have any extra. But I was fortunate enough that I had money at one time so that I was able to live pretty well. My belongings were lovely, my furniture, my dishes from marriages. I looked good. Nobody knew. My sister, when she heard that I was going to, and she's a multimillionaire, her husband's a lawyer with a million lawyers in his firm, and when she heard I was going to declare bankruptcy 12 years ago, she said, well, good luck. And never once offered to help. So I lived by myself on my own. Neither of my husbands supported me. I supported them primarily. And also, once you should know that I that last getting up from poverty was about the 15th, because I've had about 10 suicide attempts. I've been hit by cars. I've been close to death about 12, 15 times. I keep challenging the universe, God, higher self, whatever you want to call it, and they want me here. So then I decided I better find my road. And my road was calling me for years, but I couldn't get it together. And I'm finally, after COVID, getting it together. I'm back on the horse. And it feels so, so good to know what your raison d'etre is, which is reason for being. That's what I do when I do numerology assessments. And that's the primary part of my business life right now is numerology assessments, but I do it in a way that is very thorough because I have the psychology background. I have a Romanian background, so I'm an intuitive. And it's a very complete, very intuitive, but very also business-like. I help people with their careers, with their path, when they're changing, going through different directions, when they go through divorce or change or otherwise. So my role in life as a bottom line, just to, because I don't want to take too much more time, is to help people find their raison d'etre, which is reason for being. Why did we come out of our mother's womb? Our birth dates, our birth name, and the meaning of our name, as well as our numerology and astrology. So I do a whole combination of that combined with teaching meditation. We do runestone assessments or learnings. It's just a whole, the session that I have with my clients is really, it's a very beautiful, very peaceful, very spiritual, and very eye-opening session. And I love it as much as they do. And that's it.
You know, I remember, yeah, there's so much. I mean, I don't know where to go with that. I know.
I'm sorry, guys. It just, it's all there and it just had to come out.
It's just so good. It's just, we're sitting here like, okay.
Well, the reason why we're doing this tonight, let me just bottom line it. I am doing a conference called the Yes Conference. It's about it's the third one that I've done in the last 5 years, but with COVID, we couldn't do any. So we haven't done any for 2.5, 3 years. And this one is the biggest. It's the most fun. It's the Yes Conference. Why yes? Because we're taking the no's and the negativity out of the COVID shit that we've been experiencing for the last 2.5 years. And we're moving forward with optimism. And we're doing it through dance, through singing, through music, and through speakers.
Yes. And I love that. I mean, I still don't know where to go with all this because again, like you see
go with your heart. What does your heart say to do? To say?
Well, it's your spirit, your energy. It's so alive. It's so radiating. It's so raw. It's so authentic. And then just to have learned that there was that 12-year period in your life where it was a complete struggle and that you attempted suicide on multiple occasions. I mean, one of our board members, Christopher, tried the same thing. And he said, thank God I sucked at it because he's still here. Right. So I'd say, like, again, it wasn't your time to go, but to be that light for other people, to say, like, I've hit the rock bottom. I've had to steal. I've had to, eat and beg for food. I tried to kill myself. And now I'm going to put on I'm going to put on conferences to show people that anything and everything is possible. That
yes, that's exactly it.
We can get out of this shit. Go ahead, Barbara.
Oh, no. I was just I'm loving, Queen, what you're saying. And I just wanted to add that, I always tell people it's so important to hear people's stories in their lives because you understand the love and the talents and the gifts that they have through their stories. Because I tell people, I said, we go through stuff, not just to go through it. There's a reason why. I'm going to say Foxy Mama because I like Foxy Mama.
I love it.
Foxy Mama's doing this, and why she's telling us the story. There's a reason for all this, because people need to hear this. Because if they're thinking about either, taking their life, or they're really to the point where they don't have any money, or whatever's going on in their life, they can hear Foxy Mama's story and say, you know what? There's hope. There's hope. She's showing me hope. She's showing up. She's a leader in this, and I can do the same thing. And that's why I commend you, Foxy Mama, for telling your story, because it's so needed. Not just, everybody needs to do that, because you don't know whose life you're saving.
I know that. I know that innately. I felt it. I went through it. I have been on the bottom. I was 15 minutes away from death, and I did it well. Unfortunately, my girlfriend saved me because she phoned me when my mother was walking out the door, and my mother heard the phone ringing and saved my life. I was not supposed to die. I am definitely supposed to be here. And therefore, because I tried it in every way possible, I said, I've got to find why I'm staying here. Why did God make me, or whomever, stay here? And so all those shitty experiences have turned into a rose is coming to mind, because I've got roses all over my family. Rose Rosenberg was my grandmother. And then there's my name in Hebrew means rose. And, it's all full of roses. And my grandfather was a florist. So I'm the ultimate flower child. So the roses are coming out. They're blossoming, they're blooming. And so is the world. Part of it, unfortunately, will be gone in the next year or two, because the world does not have a place or time for people that can't lift. And we're all here to lift up the rest of us, because there's a beautiful world out there that's suffering, and let's make it better. That's it.
This is one of the reasons, see, Foxy Mama, I'm still going back to her. This is one of the reasons why this show started, really. I mean, it really started for Serena and help people. Okay, let me put it out there. It really started for HHH and the Queen that we see. But just bringing people on this show and showing what is needed, what the world, what children, adults, everything, what we need to help. And it seemed like it's been put to the side. And I keep telling people, do you know that there's so much needed right now? And people have went through their lives to show you that, yeah, there's a need there. Serena, I mean, she's on foot ground. Haiti, oh my God. And then look at Foxy Mama. She's helping the world, the Yes Conference. So this is why this show is available for people. And I need people to really understand and listen to the guests that we bring on, because it's so important. People's minds are closing, and we need to open up their mind and their heart.
That was a really, really good point. People's minds are closing. The government, the powers that be, the medical community, the pharmaceutical community have put fear into this whole planet, and we have to take that fear away. And we can, and we will.
And I want to say, because I know we have maybe, 5 minutes left, and there's two things, if you're okay with me showcasing Susan, is one, the numerology. So I want to give you two. I want the audience to be able to reach you for two different reasons.
Okay,
the first
cool.
one is, again, the numerology. So, okay, we're in Belize, and I'm on my missions always. And Susan's just like, can you just sit down for a minute?
Okay, sorry. So I was just going to move a curtain. Okay, go ahead.
No, not you. She says to me, she wanted me to just like sit and chill.
Oh,
and she's like, I want to know you deeper. Like, again, what is your name? When were you born? And, try to figure out some basics. And she did a reading for me that was like incredible. It was like, I mean, again, I didn't know how she would know the things that she knew. And it was all based on numbers, and it was all based on the time that I was born, the location that I was born. And then, as she said, Susan and I, like, we always follow each other, but we haven't like had a conversation in a while. And the minute we got on the phone, she remembered my birthday, my place, the numbers, what she had said to me. And I was just like, I don't know, like.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I remember people's birthdays, not their names. I have a photographic memory for numbers, so I'll go, "You're April 20th," but I don't remember your name. Like, it's really funny. It's weird, but that's, and like math was a top subject. So when I add numbers together, people can't believe it. Like my girlfriend is stoned out of her mind, and so was I. And she said, and I did the numbers, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, "How did you do that when you're so buzzed?" And I said, "Oh well, it's automatic. I just go into automatic." And I'm very blessed because it takes me 2 minutes to do a numerology. I mean, if I'm doing a quick one on the run, I meet people that way. Here, I'll do your first number, and we just have a laugh. I go around this city or wherever I am, and I make people smile. And to me, that is a gift. And if I can give that gift and a hug to everybody I meet, I've done my job, right?
Yes, that's key. When we go back and do the replays and we take the messages, like that's your message that we're going to show to the world.
Perfect. I love it. Great.
And so, like you said, if somebody wants to contact you to do a numerology reading with you, and like you said, there's the spiritual component, the career component, the relationship component. There's so many different components.
The inner, the outer, the what you must, the fulfillment, destiny. I don't predict, but the current year we're in, like you're April 20th, right? That is right, isn't it? Okay. I mean, March 20th. March 20th. Right. April 20th was right. Okay. So April 20th. 2022, 4 and 2 is 6 and 6 is 12. That's 3. So you're in a 3-year coming. Oh, just you just had yours, right? You're in a 3-year. So this is the year of what your 3 connotes. It's perfect for you. Communication, fun, travel, luxury, and just like making this world. I'm thinking, 3s, they're connectors. Yes, you're connecting people this year, and you are connected, and you're a connector. That's your role through communication. That's what your year is going to be as a 3. So that's what I do when I'm doing numerology. I tell you what your current year is and what the coming year is going to be. And that's it. And by the way, numerology is not like airy fairy. Pythagoras is known from Greece, is known in 300 BC as the doctor of numerology. So it's brilliant. I can't believe how it's the best psychological testing I have ever experienced, and I've experienced many. So that's the end of that.
And then I have one more question after that. But for the numerology, how would people contact you?
Oh, right.
If they wanted a reading?
Well, I am going to be going away for a number of months after my conference, June the 12th. And if anybody, by the way, this is important. If anybody wants to contact me and have me send them an invitation, then I would like you to contact me, friend me on my Facebook page, which is Susan Fox Numerologist. That's how you'll find me, my handle. And that's the best way, actually, is through Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, my email address is all lowercase, fox.susan 13, fox.susan number 13 at
Gmail.
Thank you, .com. And what else? Oh, my phone number. That I'd rather, you can text me.
Yeah, that's okay.
You can text me throughout North America. Should I not give out my phone number?
No,
I'm cool with that. I have no problem. So North America, fine, but I don't think WhatsApp is the best way to get me throughout everywhere. So yeah, that's how I do the long distance stuff. And the number is with you have to put the country code, but nevertheless, my number is 416 area code 255-9440. So that's 416-255-9440. And that's it. Facebook.
And Facebook is Susan Fox Numerology.
Numerologist. Yeah, numerologist. Yeah. And anytime, but for what I say to people is to just text me 10 minutes before if you're going to call. If you're going to friend me, then just send me a messenger message and I'll be back to you. I'm really good at returning messages within about 2-3 hours.
And
So, yeah.
very, very, very quickly, because we do have our
Yeah, no, this is long.
So I
The
just want
Yes
everybody to know, I was trying to get like, I knew she had a lot of contact stuff. So, but I got the email part of it. So hopefully that's right.
Yep.
Susan? That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. And Susan, no, wait a minute. You've got oh, that's right. It's just blocked here. That's fine. And the other thing you can do is Susan Fox. No, yeah, Susan Fox, numerologist is my handle on Facebook.
Okay.
And the
That's
Yes
it.
Conference, you said is June 12th, correct?
Right, from 10 to 5. It is $99 for the day, plus lunch is optional, buffet $25. And if somebody is strapped, and by the way, you could do half day for half price, and bring children over 12 because it's really probably under 12, maybe 10. If they're mature, is fine. It's a family day. It's a Sunday. It's overlooking the lake in Jordan, Ontario, just between Toronto and Niagara Falls. It's a stunning way to spend a day. I tell you, both physically, as well as emotionally, as well as musically, as well as just having a beautiful, the word Zen feeling is coming to mind. It's going to be a spirited, emotional, positive day.
And I will be most likely speaking at that conference. So perhaps in the next week or week after that, in the start of the podcast, I will mention to our guests in the next 2 weeks leading up to that event about the Yes Conference.
That would be great. That would be perfect.
We can help get the message out there. And I just want to say, like, thank you so much for joining our show. Right?
Thank you. But I forgot one thing, 2 things that are very important. It's a tribute to a friend of mine that passed away in November, Wayne Muland, who was an incredible soul. And it is also whatever remains after expenses we're giving to the Ukraine. So it is also a charity function as well.
Yay.
Yeah. And Wayne was a phenomenal man. He worked with Help Heal Humanity. So, that's why it's purposeful for me. I mean, it's the Yes Conference and I'm the Yes girl. So I should be there. Right. And so thank you for coming on the show. We'll talk.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you, Foxy
Mama. You too, honey. Barbara, we'll be in touch. I hope to meet you very soon.
Yes, we have to do that.
We will.
Okay, take care.
Good night, guys. Bye. Take care too. Bye for now.
Bye.
Wow. That was, you always bring
I told you. Well, nothing about me is really normal. So of course I'm going to protect all the other people who are wild, crazy, adventurous, spiritual. It makes sense.
I'm telling you always bring you just be power packed. I'm telling you, you just bring the power pack people. And to her to be 73 years old and her story. Oh my God. Okay. Woo. Yeah. Let me bring the next queen on. We have another nonprofit organization that we want to spotlight, and she's been here and we've been back and forth, and she made it. It was supposed to be last week, but then we moved some things. She was able to come this week, and I'm just so proud. Her name is Stacy Chapter, and just to give her just a small bio for her, is the community outreach manager of Project 150. She started as a volunteer in 2016 and became the volunteer coordinator. In 2020, she became the community outreach manager, covering community events and volunteer engagements. In 2020, she filmed a documentary on homelessness with, I'm probably going to have to correct me on this, Verito Vilzardo, and I'm not going to mess it up no more. I'm going to let her say the name, that will be released this year and was recently voted the 2022 North Las Vegas Business Person of the Year. So let's bring on the queen. Look at this.
Hi, my beautiful new friends. Thanks for the invitation.
The new friends.
Wow, that's incredible.
Thank you. So you guys are global and I am a local charity, but it's very important what we do in Southern Nevada. So thank you for giving us the spotlight. So we are based out of Las Vegas, Nevada, but we do serve all of Nevada. So Project 150's mission is to provide basic necessities to high school students to remain in school through graduation. So we started in 2011 with one high school and 150 students. So that's how we got our name. This is our 11th year that we're working on. We are now in 75 high schools, which is all 59 Clark County schools, plus we will go to the magnet schools, and we go as far as Tonopah, which is a couple of hours out of town, Indian Springs, Moapa Valley, Sandy Valley, and Pahrump, and we serve upwards of 6,000 students. So the reason that we do what we do is Southern Nevada is unique in that we're fourth in the nation for homeless children, but we are number one in the nation for unaccompanied, unsheltered children, which means those children are on the street without an adult. So the need here is very great. Our lane is working directly with the schools to keep these kids in school through graduation and beyond. So our program includes providing food, hygiene, clothing, and school supplies. We provide all the caps and gowns for any student that can afford it, because that's a minimum $100. We have a scholarship program. Last year, we awarded 48 students over $125,000. We just concluded our scholarship interviews, and this year looks like it's going to shake out to 70 students receiving about $200,000. And those are for trade schools or colleges in Nevada. We do not care if you want to be a manicurist or a doctor. We will fund your further education. So our programs start with the scholarship, then we move into our prom closet event, which we do every year. It got shut down 2 days before COVID, when COVID hit. But typically we serve about 2,000 students getting everything they need for prom if they get asked or want to ask somebody. And I'll use about 400 volunteers, including makeup artists, manicurists, hairstylists, barbers, and seamstresses, providing these students with a unique shopping experience. Because a lot of our students don't shop in the stores, so they don't know what size they wear. So every student gets a personal shopper. It's another way for us to give them an attaboy, like, oh my gosh, red's your color. And it is just so cool to see these students stand in front of a mirror in something that they own, because we give them the dresses. I mean, we're talking about $700-800 dresses that they get to keep. And, you know, when you look good, you feel good. So then we provide back to school event. We'll service about 2,000 students getting brand new backpacks full of all their school supplies. That will be at the end of July. And then we also do holiday meals. We do 2,000 for Thanksgiving and 2,000 for Christmas. Those are the frozen cooked turkey breasts with all the sides for the families that are living in budget suites hotels. So our students, you won't see them like you do a homeless veteran on a street corner, because they're kids and they want to be invisible. And so a lot of our students will couch surf, and they'll stay from friend to friend and relative to relative. And we've had students that have done that for 4 years of high school. So when they come to get food, they can get food every week from us. We provide a grocery bag full of the basics, peanut butter, jellies, cereal, spaghetti sauce. All of the items on the food line cost us well over $10,000 a week. We provide 400 bags a week typically. And then in addition, one of our scholarship recipients in 2019 went to air conditioning school, told his teacher about us, and they installed a walk-in cooler for us. And then last summer, they did a walk-in freezer. So in addition to the dry goods bag, they also get a fresh bag with produce and dairy, and then a frozen bag with meat and vegetables and pizza. And the reason that is so important is when they are couch surfing, if they're bringing home 3 bags of groceries a week, that provides some rent for the couch. So it is not zip code, it is not race. It is a me generation. Las Vegas is a transient city. Um, and it's just the LBGT community. That's a 40% suicide. They come out, they get kicked out. COVID was very, very hard on this age group. They used to see about 7% of suicides, and it went up to 40% during COVID, and that was worldwide. Our Clark County School District here had 22 suicides that year. And then coming out of it, we're still seeing those mental health issues come and go. Um, One of our other programs is providing workshops on life skills and job skills. We run those 3 days a week. We recently had the opportunity to work with the Pro-Am gym here in Las Vegas. So that is the professional gym for WWE and MMA fighters. He loved our story. It spoke to him because he had hardships when he was a child. So he put together a 10-week program that will be recurring. We have 22 students currently enrolled. They are working out with Shane Mosley Jr., who is Sugar Shane's son, as well as Mike Pyle, another professional fighter. They provided them with all the workout gear and the gloves, and the ones that do really well will get one-on-ones with professional fighters. I told him that transportation was sometimes a problem for our students and our families. And so they got a limo company to pick up the kids from Project 150, take them to the gym. The limo company got so excited, they bought a Mercedes passenger van to transport these kids to the gym. So it's just a great program all around. These students really need to see themselves achieve something and get out of their heads. And it takes 1,000 attaboys to turn around one you're worthless or stupid. So we just want everything we do to be a big attaboy. So I've really been working this year on making sure that we're as diverse as our students. So one of the big things that I've been trying to collect is ethnic hair care products, because that is something that these girls possibly can't afford. It is a specialty product to take care of themselves. And I just think it's the worst thing to go into a store. Let me back up. We have a Betty's Boutique where students can come and shop for free once a month. It is set up like a boutique. American Outfitters came out today and actually helped us kind of merchandise it a little bit better. So everything is hung and sized. So it looks like a little store, and they get to pick whatever they want. So there's very few organizations for this age group. And everyone I know has a box on the floor that says, here, find something that fits you. And we want them to shop with dignity and respect and get everything they need so that they can blend, because that's so important for their mental health. And so having a store with ethnic hair care products on the shelf, for a student to come in and not see things that represent them just means they don't belong. And I think that's the worst message we can give them. So working with getting the needs for some of the special needs students. So we have one school that has a lot of special needs students. That's who they cater to. So we've been like stocking the applesauce and the things that they need to have at this school for some of the special needs students. So one of our counselors came in about a month ago, and she had six special needs students with her that didn't have clothes that she brought in to shop in our boutique. 3 of them were living in a homeless shelter. I can't think of anything scarier than a special needs student who needs routine and steadiness and being in a homeless shelter. I had another teacher that told me that she had a student that slept under her desk because the mom turned tricks at night and he had to take care of 2 younger siblings. We had a 16-year-old boy. Stepdad and him didn't get along. Age-old story, right? Stepdad said, him or me? The boy came home from school, the locks were changed, and the house was empty. What do you do with that as a child? So you might have been parented by police. So anybody in uniform doesn't look very good to you. When the one person that's supposed to have your back is turned against you, adults no longer look very good to you. So where do you turn? So we want to be that soft place to land. We work directly with 75 high schools to keep over 6,000 kids in high school through graduation and get them to their next stage of life.
Well, Stacy, I mean, I know me and Serena was just like, wow, 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 wow. You just, and then, okay, first of all, I want to correct you, lady. You're talking about, I know you said we're global and you're just, just in the United. No, you are beyond big of the big of the big. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. What you're doing just in that, I mean,
yeah, no, that's absolutely incredible. I am a special education specialist. I taught I'm currently back in the classroom. My whole life has been around at-risk youth and special needs and vulnerable communities. So, as you're sharing your experiences, I'm obviously nowhere at the level that you're at with, affecting 6,000 students in 75 schools and whatnot. But I remember my students became my kids, and it's like you said, like you want to be able to give them everything possible, and it's like you said, I think it takes special people who believe in these students to advocate for them. And as soon as they know that somebody is by their side, like genuinely, like heartfelt, there for them, I think they start to get hope and they start to, get on the right track. And then you're able to provide that. And it's like you said, I think it takes a lot of work, but it is completely possible, because when you start calling people, like you said, you called the MMA gym, you've called, stores, inventories, meal plans, all the rest of it. When you put in the time to call all the people and you tell them what you're doing, who you're impacting, what their actual stories are, I think people just fall in love and just want to give and give and give and give. And it is possible, but it takes a lot of work. So I commend you. I commend your charity, your staff, your volunteers, because as you said, to be impacting 6,000 students and being able to provide them with education, with the experience of having food, the experience of graduating, of experiencing prom, of having those kind of life skills, social skills, giving them the outlet at like gyms. I mean, like you've really ensured that everything is available to them and everything is possible, and that it's absolutely beautiful what you're doing. And I love your story, and I love Project 150.
Thank you. Well, the thing is if you look at any success story, whether it's an athlete or a businessman, if you read their books, there was always somebody that changed it for them, that gave them that spark, that made them believe they were worth it and made them believe they can go beyond, rise above their raising, if you will. So, if we put enough influences with the workshop program in front of these students, somebody's going to click with them and they're going to find that hand up that they need. Nobody wants a handout, but everybody needs a hand up every now and then.
Yes. Now,
there's
Stacey, I was going to ask you, because I did totally butcher this and I want you to fix it for me. With the documentary that you have, because I know it's very important. Can you?
So his name is Valerio Zanoli. The last documentary he did was with Olivia Dukakis and Tatum O'Neill, and it was about Alzheimer's, and it was a really heartwarming movie. So I haven't seen this one yet. It's supposed to be ready next month, and then I think the release date he's looking towards the holidays. So looking forward to that. It was a fun experience and unique, and being able to speak like that. So if I don't get cut from the movie, go watch it.
Hopefully, no, don't cut her. Don't cut her.
Don't cut me. Don't cut me.
Now, Stacey,
I want a publicist.
I know, but you told us all these wonderful things that you do for Project 150. But I always ask, if just can give a little bit of why, because there's something I know in your heart and soul to get you to this point. So was there something, story for you that got you to this level? Because I mean, you're just amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I've kind of done sales and marketing all my life, and I tried to retire a couple of times, and it just never seems to stick. And so one of the times I retired, my youngest, so my oldest is 3 years from retiring from the Marines. My kids are all 7 years apart, so it was like having only kids. And then my middle daughter is 27, and she manages her own Bank of America branch in Connecticut. And then my youngest just came back from college. So when she was hitting high school, in one of my retirement periods, I saw an article on this, and I thought, hey, this is something we can do together, because kids can inherently be mean. And I thought, well, if we volunteer together for this program, maybe she won't knee jerk back. Maybe she will think, hey, did that girl eat? Did she have a fight or whatever? Think twice before going with it. So we started out as volunteers, and then the volunteer coordinator came up, and I drank the Kool-Aid, so here I was. And then I worked into community outreach. So she used to go to all the events with me, and she went to work with me. And I remember all of my kids in those different 7-year gaps, that they would have these friends who would come during the summer and stay at my house. All the kids were at my house. And I used to think, no mom ever called me and said, hey, are you beating my kid? Are you feeding them? Are you keeping them in the house, or are they sleeping on the roof? I mean, nobody ever checked. And the kids would sometimes go home and check in and then come back, and they would stay for a week at a time. Sometimes it's not social. Sometimes it's homelessness. So it kind of made me start thinking about all those kids that used to be at my house. And then, my daughter was with me at all the events. So by the time she hit the college board, she was so used to talking to people that it was like a no-brainer for her. And then she got to the point, she'd seen me, as we go into the grocery store, if we saw somebody homeless outside, I would say, hey, do you want something to eat? And we'd go in and we'd buy a sandwich and some drinks and stuff like that. So then it got to the point where we'd be walking in the store, and she would automatically ask, and I'd be like, hey, you might want to ask me first if I have any money or anything. But she'd be like, hey, you want a sandwich? We'll go get you a sandwich. And they'd be like, yeah, thanks. So she started doing that. She even told me the other day, she said, I went through the drive-through and I didn't have any more money, and I saw this guy after I'd already gone through the drive-in. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
She wants to just get everybody like, I didn't have no money.
That could be
Well, that's what I always say. I say in helping others, not only are we helping ourselves, because of that feeling that it gives us to know that we actually did something, even in a small moment, to like impact somebody else's life, whether it's just putting a meal in their belly, making them smile, making them forget about their real realities, and just, taking that away. And I think that gift of service, once you experience it, and the problem is, I feel like not enough people are putting themselves out there to experience it. But once you do experience it, it does become what I call like a very healthy addiction. Like you want to keep helping, and you want to keep doing more.
And I find that I run into these people all the time, because there is a stigma about, teenagers being difficult little people, and you just need to sprinkle them with holy water, but they don't get difficult in a vacuum. And I get people that tell me all the time, oh, well, they can come live with me if they've got their stuff together. And, that's not help. You have to meet people where they are. You have to help them where they are. If they're not ready for housing, you can't give them a house. If all they need right now is a sandwich, give them a sandwich. If they need a job, give them a job. But they might not be at that point yet where you can't help them where you want them to be. You have to help them where they are.
That was like a mic drop.
And yes, exactly. That is the absolute key, is as service workers or as givers, we literally have to step outside ourselves and do whatever it is wanted by the people, by the community, by each situation. It's not for us to tell people what they need and try to give them something.
Right.
True service work and charity work and helping, I believe, as you said, is what we can do for you in the moment. And you nailed it. Like Barbara said, the mic drop. And I love this show because it gives me an opportunity to connect with other charities around the world making a difference. And it allows me, because I'm very new to this, I come from a teaching background, to know that there are others that have those same, thinking and thoughts and plans and initiatives, and that just
You're not
stay the
alone.
course. Like you started, like you said, with 100. Project 150 started with 150 kids, and you're at 6,000. And you can't retire even if you want to.
So
Well,
just put in your head, Stacy, you can't do it.
it's not work if you love what you're doing. And
Yeah.
it does take a village, and it doesn't matter if you're in Belize and I'm in Las Vegas. Barbara, where are you at?
Oh, Wisconsin.
Oh, I have friends from Wisconsin.
Oh,
Yeah, but it
okay.
doesn't matter where we are, because we are a village and we're all working globally for humanity. And I might be here for the kids, but as I talk to other people, I learn, okay, that's a great idea. I'd love to do that. So just that share of ideas and being a
And
village.
and you know what it is? It opens up. I hope it's doing this to the other viewers out there too, because I'm a bit naive. I'm Canadian background. I feel like I'm like part Haitian, but when it comes to the USA, I'm very naive. And because Help Heal Humanity has been in the USA for a couple years now, and like doing podcasts like this, I am learning about the reality of the USA, right? And like you said, like I would never guess that Las Vegas, Nevada has one of the highest rates of student dropout and or student homelessness.
I know.
You know what I mean?
know.
And just that fact
Awareness.
alone, that is
We're one of the lowest in the nation for the school district. I mean, we don't make it easy for kids in high school. They actually had to pass an assembly bill a few years back that if a student moved from one side of town to another side of town, that their credits would follow them. So imagine being a second semester junior in high school and your family hits on hard times and you might have to move to a budget suites on the other side of town, that you might lose credits for no fault of your own. And so thankfully they passed that bill. But so many things we don't think about with these kids. The other issue that we have in Southern Nevada, we are Sin City, is that we are the major hub in Las Vegas for all human trafficking in the United States.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if these students are out on the street longer than 24 to 48 hours, they will be approached by gangs and they will be approached by human traffickers. And when you're hungry, we want to make sure they're not hungry.
Yeah, you made a good point, Stacey. You just reminded me of that about the sex trafficking. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah, and you think like everybody goes to Vegas to have fun and everybody's dropping money and big high rollers and ballers. But then, like you said, the actual state itself and the populations that inhabit the land, their struggles and their difficulties. And it's, I understand human trafficking. I understand gangs and violence. And it's like you said, if you are hungry, you will do desperate things, and that desperation can lead to extreme, scary situations because all you wanted was a meal. So I commend you. I commend everyone at Project 150. It was like an absolute pleasure to meet you. Thank you, Barbara.
Well, before we let you go, we want to give you at least 30 seconds. We're going to take ourselves down because we really want you just to say whatever you want to say, to the viewers that are watching the show. So we'll be right back.
Hi. So if you would like to help Project 150 with our mission, be part of the village for our students here in Las Vegas. Our website is www.project150.org. If you are local, please come and take a tour. I love when people come and see our programs. We're located at 3600 North Rancho on Rancho and Gowan. Check out our website. There's all of our programs are on there. You can see what we do. Our mission statement is on there. Our impact reports are on there. We want to be very, very visible to anybody who wants to check out our nonprofit. We have the greatest team in the planet, I think. So we'd love to see you. We'd love to meet you. And if you want to shoot me an email, it's stacychapter@project150.org.
Amazing. Thank you so much again. Oh,
thank you so much, new friends.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We appreciate you so much. And again, we'll keep in touch because we're going to be coming around the corner and bringing people on again. So I'll be keeping in touch with you, Stacy, just to let you know.
All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
And although it may seem a little mundane, packing up boxes and, being on the assembly line, what we're really doing is putting in hundreds of hours into the people on the streets who need us. And they need us in a way that none of us will ever understand. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been on the grounds every day. They know we're coming today, they know we're coming tomorrow, and they look forward to seeing us because we're the one little bit of hope that they have to have a warm meal in their bellies and to know that somebody in the world is actually caring for them and loving them. And without people like you showing up today to give your time, your energy, and your spirit, none of this is possible. So I want to really say thank you to everyone, because what we're doing here today may seem small, but it's actually really, really big, and it's impacting hundreds and thousands of families. So I thank you, I love you, I look forward to doing this with you today. My name is Serena Bufalino, and I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is a charity that is focused on unconditional giving, love, and support to some of the most vulnerable communities in the world.